What's good, YouTube's Dens here. Today I'm going to be comparing Starfield and the Outer Worlds. Both of these games do share a lot of similar features and are looked at as quite similar games. Just before we do get into this video, I just want to let everyone know that September 14th I will be doing a marathon stream of Death Stranding 1 and 2, 24-hour minimum stream, a subathon. The last time I done a subathon was in 2023, and the game that I ended up playing for that stream was Starfield on release. Very good stream. It was 57 hours overall. A subscription during the stream does increase the time by 1 hour during September, where subscribing is half price. So I do hope to see some of you guys at the stream September 14th. And yeah, without further ado, let's just get into this video. So Starfield, a game made by Bethesda, and Outer Worlds, a game made by Obsidian. Obsidian and Bethesda are somewhat connected because Obsidian did make Fallout New Vegas, which used the exact same engine from Fallout 3, and a couple of the developers from Outer Worlds were involved in the creation of the original Fallout series, so that's also very interesting. But in terms of breaking down the games, in terms of certain topics that I want to talk about, I just want to do a direct comparison with Starfield and Outer Worlds, and I'm just going to be talking about what I find that one game does better than the other, things that they do very well, and similarities, because these games are very close. They are both set in space. You can travel to different planets, different settlements. It is very, very open, and that's just how we've known Bethesda and Obsidian for their open world games. In terms of combat, first we start off, I do believe that Starfield has the better combat between the two games. I'm not bashing the combat on Outer Worlds. I do think it's absolutely brilliant. I do like the fact that you can slow down time. The combat in Outer Worlds is actually very good. I just believe the Starfield one gives you more flexibility. Outer Worlds, I don't even think you can use grenades in that game. So you are very limited to what you can use in the Outer Worlds. Whereas Starfield, I do believe, allows you with a lot more flexibility in terms of how you want to use combat with the powers, customizing weapons. It is a very open customization system, similar to the way Fallout 4 operated. They carried that on pretty much to Starfield, which I think was a very nice touch. Starfield does also allow the use of vehicles. There's many different weapon types you can use. You can use melee types. There's a ton of different grenade types in Starfield also. And I do believe Starfield just does have the better combat between the two games. I'm not saying, once again, the Outer Worlds combat lacks or it's not a good combat system. I really did enjoy it. I just felt the flexibility of Starfield, creativity is what I enjoyed the most. In terms of exploration, kind of have a mixed feeling on this. There are things I appreciate with the Starfield exploration. There are things I appreciate with the Outer Worlds exploration. I would say maybe, well, to myself, the Starfield exploration is more interesting. But if somebody was to say to me that they enjoy the Outer Worlds exploration, it would be very hard for me to argue and say that one is better than the other. When I say I enjoy the Starfield exploration, it's because I'm just a person who takes in a lot of lore. I'm a person who enjoys the studying planets side of Starfield, studying the habitat, studying the creatures, building on random planets. I really just do enjoy those things, like landing on a planet and then seeing a deserted robotic lab, and then knowing to myself, oh, I need materials, I need certain resources that I need to continue my outpost building, or when it comes to crafting weapons or finishing my research. Things like that in Starfield do pique my interest, and I really do get interested. So in terms of that, would probably be the reason why I have Starfield slightly over in exploration, but they are very close. In terms of personality and which worlds it feels more alive, this one unanimously goes to Outer Worlds. Outer Worlds has a very colourful cast of characters. It almost reminds me of Borderlands, the way the game is, or Guardians of the Galaxy. I really do enjoy Outer Worlds characters. I think they're all absolutely amazing. From the companions to Phineas Wells himself, even the board, the side quests. I do think the Outer Worlds characters are way, way better than the Starfield ones. So in that sense, Outer Worlds definitely does win. If you want to if you're struggling between these two games and you want the game more personality, which city feels more alive, which settlement feels more alive, definitely go with Outer Worlds. One of the biggest and greatest things about Starfield are vehicles, the ships themselves mainly. I'm not talking about like the land vehicles. They are a cool touch, but I'm talking mainly about the ships themselves. The freedom that you have with the ships in terms of customization. You can build a vehicle from the ground up. One that you will be spending a lot of time on in terms of customization inside. If you want to make storage, or if you want to make a couple workbenches, you have your crew there. You make a living space for yourself and your crew. And then in terms of combat, in terms of survivability, in terms of performance when it comes to the likes of speed and shield, I really do love the fact that Bethesda have done that. I do think it's one of the biggest and the greatest additions that they've ever had in any of their games. And we really just do need to give Starfield the credit in terms of shipbuilding. It has some of the best shipbuilding we've ever seen in gaming, period. I mean, Outer Worlds doesn't have that. It does have the Unreliable, which is the main player ship, which is a cool ship to be fair. You have the freedom to walk around the Unreliable, see whatever it is you want. You can have your companions there. In terms of the navigation, you don't get to control it itself, but I mean, it is cool that you can get to see the planets that you are orbiting from inside the Unreliable. But I really just do think that we have to respect Starfield's spaceship building and the flexibility that you have with the spaceship. It's not No Man's Sky where you can directly fly into a planet, but for how big Starfield is, the respect has to be given. I do believe Starfield's shipbuilding and ships in general are absolutely brilliant and a huge touch to the game. In terms of customization options for your character, I gave this one more towards Starfield. Starfield is very open when it comes to customizing your character. Their appearance, their skills, their traits, their background. It is a lot more open. Whereas the Outer Worlds, I really do love the leveling system in it, where you hit level 50 and then you can individually assign points to whatever skill it is that you want. So you level up the stealth, and once that hits 50, you can individually select sneak, hack, or lockpick, etc. I do love that system, the way it works in the Outer Worlds. I just do believe that the Starfield one's more open in terms of making you do certain things to level up the challenges. For example, I was playing Starfield and I wanted to level up my heavy weapons. The game told me you need to go kill 50 enemies with heavy weapons before you can even think about leveling up the skill. So that's immediately a task for me to do, and the game's forcing me to use the weapons that I want to level up. Starfield also does have base building, something that the Outer Worlds doesn't have. Base building is absolutely brilliant. You can find any biome, any planet at all, any area that you like, and you can decide to start building an outpost there. You can place however many people you want in the outpost, grow it as much as you want. You can extract resources from it. You can create certain functions for these outposts. They can work for you while you're out with the outpost themselves. They can mine for you while you're away. So I do give Starfield massive points for that. Also, the building system in Fallout 4 was absolutely brilliant. I built some very good settlements in Fallout 4 that I'm very happy with, and I think they are cool. I do genuinely spend time in there and enjoy spending time there, so I do give that one to Starfield, the fact that it does have base building. Then we have quests, content, story. In terms of main story, Outer Worlds definitely has the better story, I think. I love the Outer Worlds story with the board and with Phineas and the Hope. It's just absolutely brilliant. I mean, the fact that there's the board is corrupt and they're trying to have a certain way of law and order, rich get richer kind of story, and Phineas Wells is trying to save it, but Phineas Wells himself isn't too perfect of a character, and then you, the main character, are stuck with making choices, just like in Fallout New Vegas and a lot of the Bethesda games that we do play. I do believe the Outer Worlds story is way better than the Starfield one. Quests in the Outer World, Starfield does have some great quests, but it's not very consistent. I do believe the Outer Worlds, when it comes to their quests and their content, way better than Starfield. You'll have a lot more fun in the quests that you do in the Outer Worlds. You'll find more consistent and better quests in the Outer Worlds than you will in Starfield. So that's one thing I'll give it for that. But Starfield does have some great quests. It's just not consistent. But yeah, guys, overall, I do believe Starfield is the better game. It is a bigger game than the Outer Worlds, so it's not really too much of a surprise. I really do enjoy both games. The comparisons were good. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Put down in the comments what you guys think. I did say I'm having a subathon marathon stream on the 14th September. I hope to see you all there, and have a good